Give me on this one.
Welcome back to another We Power podcast, another We Power broadcast. We have an exciting show for you today. This show is going to be special, and we will have to allow this show to, it will self-destruct on your device because the information and the things that we will be discussing are very, very proprietary, and you can only listen once, so you better take notes. But we've got two special guests here in the studio with us, and I'll allow them to introduce themselves. But we're going to stay in line and in theme with the season, and that's being able to identify what works for you. We're going to be, you guys know that I'm heavily into real estate, and just put up a post the other day about getting back into and offering real estate coaching. I've got one gentleman, he's brand new to the game. Another gentleman, he's seasoned in the game, and he was actually responsible for getting me back in the game. And I'm going to introduce these guys, and then we're just going to talk. We're just going to sit here, chop it up, and just talk shop, talk strategies, and talk about the things that we have identified that works for us in the realm of real estate and of life. First gentleman I'm going to introduce is George Moore. Yep, you know George Moore. I'm Philip Moore family, you know what I'm saying? He's the grandson of former Bishop Moore, and so well-renowned, well-renowned in the city. George, introduce yourself and tell us why you're here today.
Yes, sir. So grateful to be here. Hello, everyone. My name is George Moore. You heard it. I am so honored to be here. I am in Indianapolis, Indiana, for the purpose of learning how to improve my life and go to the next level using the vehicle of real estate. So I'm excited to be here. I'm here to learn. I am an empty cup ready to be filled. Got my notepad ready. Excited to be here with you guys.
Awesome. Good stuff. The next gentleman, all-star on his way to the Hall of Fame in just being a father, a good, strong African-American male here in the city of Indianapolis. I am blessed just to be able to have relationship with him. Iron sharpens iron, and man, he's definitely a brother that I'm glad God has blessed me with to have in my Rolodex. Kerry, introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody out there. I don't think I'm none of those things that Phil speaks of, but I definitely bring a lot of value. Kerry Noble, born and raised in Indianapolis, and I'm always learning, and I'm always dropping gems anywhere I can be of value to those. And I receive gems too. You know, don't let that get it twisted, as I always receive a lot of gems as well. But for sure, that's my purpose, is to help and add value to so many people.
Great, man. I'm blessed to have both of you guys here with me today, and we're going to talk just about strategies and identifying what works for you individually, and in hopes to help George gain some tips and some knowledge, so when he gets back to the ATL, he can hit the ground running. One of our goals today is to give George some plays where he can go back and identify the best plays and strategies that's going to work for him, just based from this conversation. Kerry, I'm going to start with you, man, and just tell us briefly your why for what it is that you're doing and why you chose real estate.
Man, my why is sitting behind me in this room. I have three young men, three young, strong kings that I'm trying to raise to be great husbands, great fathers, great businessmen, leaders of the community. You know, that's my why. That's what got me into real estate. I wanted to be in a position of freedom in which I can pick them up from school, which I can go on field trips and be that father that's visible in their life, not at work all the time. So that was the reason why I chose real estate, and that's what it's given me over the last 4 years is that freedom and that ability to be present as a father.
That's what's up. That's what's up. George, drop us your why. What's your why? Why real estate?
To be honest with you, initially my why started with a desire to be a blessing to ministry. I'm a son of a pastor, and God has put a strong burden for me for ministry, not just the organized church, but just people in general. Before COVID hit is when I kind of got bit by the bug. And once COVID hit and I started seeing people struggle, started seeing people go through, I was like, man, I would love to be an answer to people's problems. So I want to be an answer to other people's problems. That's my strongest why. Absolutely.
That's good. Man, and the course I teach, I start out with helping people identify their why.
Right.
And it's really this simple. I don't care what it is you're doing, whether it's weight loss, whether it's business, whether it's relationships. The foundation, the root of it starts with your why. And if your why is something that is significantly stronger than yourself, man, you're going to be successful. And so, Kerry, talk to us, man, about where you are in real estate. Where did you come from? And we're not going to go in depth in your secrets and your secret sauce, but sometimes, man, you can give the person the basketball, you can show them the plays, and they still won't be able to score. So, So we just gonna leave it right there. So, man, just talk to us about your journey in real estate, and as you're talking, George will be able to pick up some tips of the trade and some things, and write down some plays that he can work on and be able to come up with a strategy that works for him. That's the theme of the show. That's the theme this season. Being able to identify what works for you. And you guys heard me say this before from Albert Einstein. It would be a shame for a fish to go through his life and be judged by his ability to climb a tree. We're talking about being able to identify what works for you. A fish was never created to climb a tree. So you got to be able to identify what works for you, and not what the people in the stands, not what your haters, not the people that's not going to be directly there in the game with you. Be able to identify what works for you. So, Kerry, talk to us, man, about your journey.
So basically the same question before we. So I started out wholesaling. I still wholesale, and a mixture of fix and flip and wholesale. But I started out wholesaling, and like I said, I still do that. That's definitely something that I prefer. But literally, I built a lot of relationships through wholesaling. So here's the game. I'm giving you the game now. I was on Bigger Pockets. Okay, I was on Bigger Pockets, and I'll start with a book though. I always reference a book for everything, for my reasoning for doing things. There was a book called The Go-Giver. That book, The 5 Stratospheric Laws of Success, that's what it outlines in that book. The 5 laws of stratospheric success breaks down, in order to be a good giver, you have to be a good receiver. I've never been a good receiver. I've always been a giver.
Okay, so pause right there.
That's deep.
In order to be a good giver, you have to be a good receiver. What makes a good receiver?
So, I'm not good at people doing things for me, but I learned to be, I had to allow people to do things for me. That's something I had to learn to allow people to do those things for me and receive those things. You remember we was at the meeting out there in the park, and the young man, and I gave, was it me giving it or somebody was giving it? I don't remember what it was, but he denied the money being given to him, said he didn't like handouts. So you don't know where your blessings come from.
Right.
You stop energy from coming to you by doing that, right? So I told him, I said, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You accept that. Be grateful for that. But no matter how small or how large it may be, you're blocking what potentially could be a larger flow of money coming to you by denying XYZ. how I go is whenever I get some money, I like to send money out immediately.
Right.
So I send money out.
I'm a witness to that.
Yeah.
I've been a receiver, a good receiver.
So if I close a deal, man, the people in my network, boom, there's money that's sent out, and that's in hopes that they get the big deal coming to them too. You got what I'm saying? Another part of that. Let me break this down. I don't really talk much about this, but I will talk about this. I feed the homeless once a month and or every time I close a deal. Okay, so me and the owner of the McDonald's on 16th and Meridian, Mr. Z. Mm-hmm. That's my right hand man. We tight now. So I got his number. I tell him when I'm about to make a big order, and he'll have it ready the next day. So I just did it Saturday, and man, I've probably fed 5,000 by myself in the last 4 years. So I just order. Now I'm up to 90. I increase it generally every year, so I'm up to 90. I take them 90, go to Roberts Park, just pass them out.
Let's pause right there. How did you discover that that's something that would work for you? And what has been, not that you're doing it for a benefit, but there's just a byproduct of receiving when you're that type of giver.
Absolutely. How did I discover that? I really don't even know how I even discovered that. I think I had to, they've been shuffling the homeless people around downtown and, the people in the path of development. So they've been shuffling them around. So I don't know how I found it, but Roberts Park just seemed to always be the staple place where they would go. So it just stuck. Every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, there's going to be homeless people in Roberts Park parking lot. That's the only thing that's been consistent over the last 4 or 5 years is knowing they'll be there Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. That's what it was. Now, I'm a huge believer of the law of attraction. As above, so below. Well, those are Hermetic principles, but as above, so below. What goes out can only come back in. Right, so I'm a huge believer and understanding of that. What goes out must come back in, and the law of attraction. That I know. Again, I don't do this for that. I do this because I'm a human being, and that's what I'm supposed to do. And the secret, Tony Robbins always said, the secret to living is giving. All right, so that has been. Tony Robbins will tell you, give even when you don't have it. And just watch how you'll be blessed. But once I understood that, the law of attraction, giving, all that stuff, boom, I started implementing that stuff. The speed of implementation is everything. As fast as you learn something and then you put it into play, that is everything. Right. So once I started doing that, man, blessings came. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't closed a deal in October. So was that 6 months? 6 months, right? But I still go feed the homeless. I still take care of them. And I'm gonna tell you something. 2 things. You judge a man by how you help somebody that can do absolutely nothing for you. How he treats those people that can do nothing for him. And those people bless me down there every time I go down there. Yeah. The last time they said, man, you down here every week. Man, I'm not down there every week. I'm only down there once a month and or every time I close a deal. So they just saw me a month before. But I guess it goes fast and they think they see me every week. They call me McDonald's, man. But those people bless me. Every time, I'm gonna tell you something. One dude, they bless me with a couple Bible verses. I'm gonna share one with you too. This I haven't seen that man since then, but one of them was no, that's not it. He blessed me with this one, Matthew 5:16. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Like, man, the dude just came out and dropped that on me. He said Matthew 5:16. Go read it. I know certain Bible verses, but read Matthew 5. I had to go look that one up.
Yeah, that's a blessing. See, you dropped 2 key nuggets. The secret to giving.
The secret to living is giving.
The secret to living is giving.
Yep.
But the secret to being a good giver is you have to be a good receiver.
Yeah.
The secret to living is giving, but the secret to being a good giver is you have to be a good receiver. Just in case y'all didn't know, we're still talking real estate.
We're still talking real estate.
We're going deep. We're going on a deep dive, talking real estate, and just learning from Kerry here, just some of the strategies that he is using.
Can I jump in there?
Absolutely, go right ahead.
This is George speaking. Listen, I was listening to my brother Kerry talking. It really opened me up on something. He's talking about the law of attraction and bringing things in. And it dawned on me while I was sitting here, I attracted this day.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And didn't recognize until I was sitting here that I attracted this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a newbie to the point of I haven't even done a deal yet. I've been tussling in this business for I guess a little over a year by myself.
Yeah.
And I started writing down, wow, it just came to me. In my iPad, I have an affirmation that says, I have every coach, mentor, and partner I need to help me reach my goals.
That's right.
Yeah.
I have something in my phone called prayer pairs. That's where I pair two words together and I pray for them. So if you want a certain thing, there's usually another word that pairs with that enhances it. So if you say, I want more discipline pairs with consistency.
Yeah. Facts.
So if you just discipline it, if I get up at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow, that's good, but it ain't great.
Keep
good.
doing it.
If I pair that discipline with consistency and I do it over and over, I'm a beast now.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have these prayer pairs I've been praying for, as well as I have these affirmations, and I've been saying, hey, I'm gonna have mentorship coaching. I'm gonna have it. I've been praying for, Lord, give me connections and productivity, right? And I'm sitting here listening to you talk, and you revived some stuff in me that I've been all about trying to get up earlier. And sitting here listening, and I was like, dang, I gotta tighten up. Yeah. And what's so funny is everything that we're talking about, everything that I've heard in the past 24 hours, I literally attracted it. I'm sitting in what I said.
Absolutely.
That's right. You will have.
I am sitting right now in what I said. And it wasn't until I sat here today that I recognized, oh snap.
Yeah.
This is what I've been talking about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there's power in what you say.
Right.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
your words.
I have a quote that I use all the time. I made this up. What comes and what stays is a result of what I say.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And so I'm blessed just being here because it just hit me like, man, I've been saying this.
Yeah, and I believe, I think I talked about it yesterday. I believe in the law of agreement. When you come together and you come together with like-minded people, there's a law of agreement that takes place that will bring manifestation.
Absolutely.
The law of agreement is, he came yesterday, we talked, and he just happened to come on the day that I was planning on going to Simple Wholesaling.
Yeah.
And so on our way to Simple Wholesaling, we caught the flat tire, of course, changed the tire right there, 38th and Michigan Road. Did that. That was part of the process.
Absolutely.
But when we get to Simple Wholesaling, my phone rings. And so we're going to Simple Wholesaling so he can network, so he can see real estate, so he can see how deals come together and all that good stuff. So the law of agreement was, he's looking for his first deal.
Right.
I'm doing what I like to do, coach, mentor, and show people. But that's been what has worked for me. Giving away the knowledge and experience that I have, that it brings deals to me. So when we get there, before we get out the car, my phone rings. I answer it. It's a guy in California looking for another deal here.
Yep.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm about ready to go into a wholesaling meeting, but I will call you when I get out.
Yeah.
But I wasn't looking for him because of the power of agreement. That deal came forth through the law of attraction. And so with what there's three strong nuggets as we get to wrap this up. We'll do a part 2, but there's 3 strong nuggets that I want the listeners to take.
It's powerful.
Kerry came in with 2 of them. George just dropped the 3rd one. In order to be a good giver, you have to be a good receiver. The secret to living is giving. And through Kerry's conversation and the law of attraction, George brought up the fact that one of the things that he does, he pairs words. And that's so powerful. That's the third nugget. That's so powerful in pairing your words, because your words are direction. The words that you speak will take you into a certain direction. So as a child, my mom was mindful of this in saying, instead of saying stay out the street, you would say stay in the grass. Now your words are directing me to stay in the grass versus instead of saying stay out the street, your words are now directing you to the street, the very place that you would want to stay out of.
Your mind doesn't process negatives. And
that's
stuff
right.
Like that.
That's right. And so George, in dropping pairing words, that's the first I've heard of that. In pairing words, that's so powerful, because if you want to be successful, and I'm a witness to Kerry and what he's been doing, I don't know what, the past 2 or 3 years, when he dropped the morning miracle on me. When he dropped the morning miracle on me, he has been doing that with a discipline and with a consistency that has brought him to a level of success to where he just said he hadn't closed the deal since October. But because of the discipline and the consistency in his routine, he's still strong enough to have stability.
Yeah.
That's powerful, man. This has been the We Power Podcast, Part 1. We will come back with Part 2. And we're talking about being able to identify what works for you. Being able to identify what works for you. And yes, y'all, we're still talking real estate. I thank you for joining us on this edition of the We Power Podcast, the We Power Broadcast. We'll be back. Stay tuned and catch Part 2. And as always, please support our sponsors, Victories Insurance Agency, LLC. If you need insurance, life insurance, health insurance, long-term care, give Victories Insurance Agency a call at 317-772-3712. And don't forget Stretch Indy. If you're tight and need to be stretched out, call Stretch Indy at 317-828-1490. And if you would like to become a sponsor of the We Power Podcast, reach out to us. Shoot us an email at Phil, that's PHIL, at wepowersuccess.com. And also, there's a new show on your internet airwaves. The B Men Radio Show can be found on the JQLM app. Download the app and listen to the B Men Radio Show every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And thank you for tuning in to the We Power Podcast.